GM. Welcome everyone to another episode of Music NFT Radio Podcast. We've been going strong, covering so many topics and giving you guys that knowledge, that information, and that alpha that's going to help you build an organic community here in Web3. And ultimately, guys, we want to help you make more sales here on the NFT Marketing Show. Because if you're not making more sales, then it's because your NFT marketing isn't working and you have to improve on some of your offerings. Maybe you have to use a different blockchain, change your pricing structure, or maybe improve your community or your utility. Because, guys, these are all different pieces that are a part of NFT marketing. So, we're here to bring you that alpha constantly. And one thing we love to do is talk to some of the bigger collectors because getting the perspective from the people who actually buy NFTs every day and who are big collectors here in the community, that is extremely important. So today we're bringing you a legend, Mr. Yancey. He's here in the community every day. Yancey Garringer, he's always grinding. He's always building cool, innovative technology for Web3, and he's always collecting NFTs too. And we have some other amazing people with us on the stage. We have Mr. X, we have Ali Bianchi, and a bunch of incredible other people that collect here NFTs every day. So if you're listening to the show right now, guys, thank you for tuning in. If you're on Twitter Spaces, like and retweet the room. Help us to get more people in here. And if you're listening to the podcast on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe onto the video. And if you're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere else you might be listening, come check out the live show on Twitter, guys. We do it every single day, NFT marketing, and we appreciate every single person that tunes in. So we want to bring you guys the best information we can and talk to some incredible individuals and feature them on the podcast here. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty unique. Nobody else is doing Twitter Spaces quite like this. And today we're here to talk about an important topic from a collector's perspective, which is how to make money collecting NFTs. And I want to talk about this with Yancey because we often have these talks live on the NFT Marketing Show about the different strategies and the different knowledge that you need to actually gain financial wealth from collecting NFTs. So we're not here to give you financial advice necessarily. We're not here to tell you which NFTs to buy or which NFTs to sell. You have to do your own research and figure that out yourself. But we're here to give you a set of guidelines and some information that's going to help you to be more successful in creating financial wealth from NFTs. Because if you collect the right way, you can actually create a lot of value for yourself and get some financial gains from collecting NFTs. You know, it's not all just about supporting art, it's also about investing into the artists. And today we have Yancey and Mr. X and some other incredible people here to talk a little bit about how to make those investments and how to actually gain financial wealth. And there's a couple important points that me and Yancey always touch on. So, Yancey, over to you, my friend. Let's talk a little bit. If you want to introduce yourself as well, please go ahead because we do have the Music NFT Radio podcast here. Some listeners, they might be new to you, Yancey, and what you're building, but really talking about your perspective about as a collector is the most alpha I think we could provide. And it's a great way to introduce you to the Music NFT Radio podcast. So shout out to you, my friend. Welcome.
Thank you, Dill. It's a true honor to be here with you today. And, I'm Yancey Garringer. I'm the CEO of Guar Money, and I'm a collector of NFTs. It's simple and easy math for me. I collect NFTs from artists who are active and who give me an added benefit to collect from them, in addition to art that just simply moves me. So whenever I'm looking at an NFT project or an artist, I'm always looking at three things. First thing is, how is this artist active every day? How is she or he moving about in the industry of Web3? How are they collecting, or how are they producing art that will make someone else want to invest in their artwork? And then two, the price that I can collect from them. Can I collect one for $500 or half an ETH, or can I collect three or four for the same amount of value, and then look for the future of maybe flipping one or two of those to pay for the investment and to be able to collect that piece of art? for the rest of my life. And then the third thing, of course, is there utility to it? Does the art or the PFP project give a utility that will bring me a financial return? Or is it just simply a piece of artwork that I'm buying to be a member of a club?
Awesome, Yancey. And I think you touched on an important piece in there that I think we need to mention because it's really important. And it's the benefit of having more than just one NFT or even just two NFTs. We talk about this all the time that you really need three, four, five NFTs to have the best chance to accumulate some financial wealth. So maybe you could talk about that to help some people who might have, no financial knowledge, or they're a little bit newer to trading and collecting, because you have some of this knowledge being in the stocks markets and being in finance for years. So you could talk a little bit about your experience and how it sets you up to know some of this information. Because even stuff that might seem basic to you, like having three or four NFTs so that you can sell them off as the price goes off. I mean, or the price goes up. This might be some new information and some alpha for the newer collectors out there, and a great reminder for anyone who does know this already. But yeah, you could talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, Jill. It's I've been in commodities, stocks, and foreign exchange since 2000. And one of the things that my mentors always taught me was to accumulate wealth is to accumulate things of value that you don't have to sell, but that'll increase your portfolio. And so when you're looking at the NFT market and you're looking at investing into artwork, you have to think of it in a certain dynamic. If you just collect one, in order to gain that wealth, you have to sell it. But if you collect two, three, or four of the same piece of artwork, you can actually monetize those second and third copies of that artwork into a way of producing physical wealth into your portfolio that at a later time you'll be able to reinvest into yourself or into other artwork. So my motto is I never buy one, I never buy two, I always buy three or more, because when I buy three or more, what happens is I can always keep the one in my wallet and I can relist one of them for about double the price that I paid for it. And then I can see how the artist or the project is going so that in the future, maybe I list the third one. Or maybe I don't. Maybe I just keep the one in my wallet and keep the two on the market to pay me back for my initial investment and to make some profit. Because if you list your first one that you buy and you sell it, you have no way to even be back in there again with that artist unless you enter in at a higher price. But when you buy two or three, what you're doing is you're setting yourself up to be in a position that as the market increases, either the value of the coin, if it's Ethereum or Tezos or Solana or AVAX or any other coin that you may be investing with, as that value goes up, if you sell your only NFT, you're cashing out. You have no way to get back into the market other than to spend more money in getting in at a higher price. But if you've bought two or three or four, being able to list one or two of them, you can cash out some of that money and actually turn it around to and reinvest in yourself or pay some bills or whatever it may be. But if you're shrewd with your investments, if you really look at NFTs from a collector's perspective, you want to look at those NFTs as what is going to sell now and or in the future. And when you sell, are you losing your wealth? And if you've only bought one, quite honestly, when you sell that one, you've lost your wealth because all you did was make that momentary exchange. So you got some profit on the investment. But if you bought two or three, you retain your wealth because you sell one and you make back your investment and you still have two in your wallet. You sell the second one, you've made profit. And now that third one that you still hold is even that much more valuable. So it's a simple strategy that I use in my everyday life investing in NFTs. And it's really key to look at the project, to look at the artist and make sure you vibe with them. One of the keys in addition to all of that deal is to never invest what you're not willing to lose. You got to be willing to invest knowing that some of this art may never sell again. So you're just collecting it because you enjoy it and you like the artist. And then the other reason is because the artwork depreciates in value because of whatever may have happened, things in the future you just don't know about. So you always have to do your own research and invest wisely. But if you're buying NFTs as an investment, don't ever just buy one. Buy two or three or four, because when you sell that single NFT that you may have purchased, you're actually taking yourself out of the market for any future growth. I hope that was clear enough.
Absolutely, dude. And that is exactly the information some people need. And a lot of people don't understand that quite yet. And even when I was early to NFTs, I had to understand that, okay, you need to get a few of these so that you really have a strategy to be able to sell some off for the long term. So we're all learning. And some of this information is really going to help you to be more profitable as a collector and really help you to make money as an NFT collector. And I also want to talk to another legend here on the stage, which is Mr. X, and he collects a lot of different NFTs and supports a lot of different communities. So, Mr. X, if you want to talk a little bit about what makes you bullish on a community or how to make money as an NFT collector and just add a little bit to what Yancey brought, we'd love to hear from you as well.
Hey everybody, thank you very much for having me. Well, Yancey said most of everything that has to be said on the topic. Maybe what I can add is it's that there are just to complement, there are two sorts of investment, right? It's one is a PFP project or a project music project like yours deal, or like Gore Money or Fiancies. And another one is invest in art, one of one art. As Yancin mentioned, that art that you vibe with, you really like it, or because you also like the artist and you believe that he is going to bring value in the future to you, and you want to support him. That's how I also do my investments in NFTs, in projects, investing. What I'm willing to lose in a project to have financial returns. In one of one artists, I invest because I like the art. I like the artist. I think he his art can take him to places, and also not only as a collector but myself as a one of one artist. One of the things I like to do also is also give value and utility to my collectors, and how a one of one artist can give utility is his own art.
That's right, man, and I think that giving utility to collectors and really building a valuable community and finding other ways to bring value back to your collectors is the way that you find value here in Web3. That you create value as an artist and a collector, and so. When you're a collector, you should be looking for the collections that do have a game plan, a roadmap, utility for the long term. They have a team that you believe in, and you see that they're very active here on Twitter Spaces. They're active in the community. They have an active Discord, and they're constantly grinding and trying to make a way forward. I mean, those are some of the signs you want to look for that you find an amazing collection that you want to buy into. So I think that's some of the stuff we're looking for. And yeah, Mr. X, I think the utility and the features you bring are super important.
Absolutely, and you know why invest also in one of one artist with the current market? Because if these artists are here grinding every day, working every day, working hard, promoting their work, building. These are the people that I want to invest in when the bull run comes, because these are the people we have seen growing, we have seen in working hard when many people left the space. And for me, these are the people going to be winners.
For sure, man. And a lot of people have left out of the space, but there's a lot of amazing people that are still here grinding every day, like me, like you, like so many others. So, dude, that's why we just got to keep coming back and keep showing up in the community and, Yeah, dude, we're gonna be here growing every single day, no matter what. So we got a lot of love for all the people that do show up. You know what I mean? I mean, if you're here showing up, then you have a chance to make it. I do think that's true. So everybody who's here right now, let's go. We're going straight to the top, and appreciate you, Mr. X, for being a part of the show. And another thing that I wanted to talk about, guys, while we're here as well, and we're talking about how to make money as an NFT collector. We're bringing you guys some knowledge, some information, some alpha. So if you're here on the Twitter space right now and you're enjoying what you hear, like and retweet the space. Help us to get even more people here into the show. We're talking about some knowledge and some alpha for the community. So like and retweet up at the top, guys. And if you're on YouTube or a podcast site like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, leave a like, leave a comment, support and subscribe to the podcast as well and show some love. So another thing I want to talk about today for how to make money as an NFT collector is the fact that when you find a great collection, you want to really put a lot into that collection. I see all the time that people will go out and support an NFT, maybe buying one or two, and it's great to support artists. That's something I do all the time. I have hundreds of NFTs I buy from artists all the time to support. But when I really believe in a collection and I view it as an investment, I go to another level. I don't just put in, $1 or $5 or $10. I put in, $100 or 500 or 1,000 or even more. So that's the other thing too, is you got to find those collections that you believe in and really double, triple, or 100x down on how much that you're putting into those NFTs, because that's how you're going to actually make some valuable returns. You have to go hard on the ones that you believe in, and you have to look for the right signs. When you see a collection that's making secondary sales, that has a big growing community, and you see some of the right signs, you're going to want to get in on the NFT and double down, triple down, quadruple down. Do as much as you can to get in on that collection, because when a collection is on the rise is the best time to get in, and you're going to have to buy in early and buy as many as possible. So that's the other thing, is you really want to double, triple, 100x down on those collections that you believe in, and support the artists, because when you really believe in a collection, you should be putting a lot more in rather than just a smaller amount that you might put in if you just want to support the artists and show some love, which is great. You should make many different opportunities to support people that you believe in. But when you find a valuable collection and there's a lot of sales, there's a lot of potential for growth, that's even more reason to pick up some more of those NFTs. So that's what it's all about. And Yancey, do you have anything else you want to add? Maybe some tips for collecting or anything else that you want to add as well?
Yeah, one of the greatest things that an individual can do as a collector of NFTs is to watch and look. Become a part of a community that you're thinking about investing in, and see how faithful, how consistent they are. Prime example, Deal, you and I both are really good friends with Tony over there at Doodlegenics. And, I wasn't part of his initial mint, but I came into his community just by happenstance one day, wanting to talk about my project with Guar Money. And I saw a consistency with him and his charisma, and how he gave one-on-one artists the opportunity to talk about their art. And at the same time, how he was interweaving his project as it was growing and was budding into a beautiful flower. And I saw an opportunity to pick up some doodle bears on the Solana blockchain at about one Solana a piece, which was at the time about $30 to $35, depending on the day in which I invested. And what I noticed though was, I saw that as Tony continued to build his community and continue to foster a platform for individual artists, one-of-one artists, and small project incubators to come up and talk about their projects, I saw a platform being developed that was going to go somewhere. And so I put in about $3,500 in Solana, and I picked up around 50 odd doodle bears at the time, which average cost me out of about 3 Solana a piece. And over the last year, as that community has continued to grow based upon the charisma and the constant consistency of Tony with the Doodlegenics brand, I've watched that $3,500 become more than $20,000 because the floor price of those NFTs went from a initial minting price of 0.05 Solana, which was like $15 at the time, all the way up to 44 Solana per bear. And at today's current price, that's about a $400 bear. And it's all based upon the way the community grew around the leader and the consistency of the leader. So if you're looking at PFP projects, you want to look at PFP projects that are consistent, that have a charisma, and that give an opportunity for the community to grow. And I saw that with Tony and the Doodlegenics brand, and that was the reason why I invested in it. Even though I wasn't investing in it at the initial mint, I was able to come in and buy secondary and invest a certain amount of money that I've been holding. I don't have any of my Doodle Bears listed, but I've been holding because I know where it's going and I can see the future value of the artist and the community, the PFP project itself, between my investments with you, Deal, and my investments with Tony, my investments with Mr. X, and other one-of-one artists. I'm always looking for the consistency of that artist and their charisma. Do they have an ability to continue bringing people to them to collect their art? And when they do, those are simple investments for me. And that's something that any investor, any collector of NFTs should look for. And they should always do their own research, no matter what's said on anybody, on any space or any podcast. You have to do your own research. Otherwise, you can only blame yourself when things don't go your way. But remember, look at what you're investing in and make sure that what you're investing in has a future.
Absolutely, man. You have to look for something that has a realistic future. And unfortunately, a lot of people, when they're new to NFTs, they're lured into projects that are short term focused, or lured into projects that are really just designed to take away their money and not provide any true value. And you see that all the time. And just because a project even might have some celebrity big names attached to it, or be released by a so called reputable company, I mean, it doesn't always necessarily mean that project is going to be super valuable or do what it says it will long term, because we've seen even big companies and big celebrities that have come into the space and said they were going to build something amazing, and then they just rug out and they don't build anything for the community long term. So you've seen that all the time. So just because there's big names attached, it doesn't prove consistency. It doesn't beat the consistency of being here every day. And we see a lot of projects that deliver value to collectors every day by building utility, by building community, by being consistent. Just like the Dill NFTs, we provided so much value for collectors. We have an active marketplace. We have secondary volume trading. The floor price has been doing well consistently over time. We have a VIP active community of rare NFT collectors who really support what we're doing. I mean, all the things you want in a thriving NFT community. So those people that are consistent, that show up every day, like I've been doing the last 2 years, that's where the real value is being created. And it's not all just about these hyped up PFP mints or some of these celebrity projects that lure people in. And we've seen a lot of them fail over the years. But we're here to make a difference. We're here to do things the right way. And we want to create a lot of value for collectors. So every single day, we're going to be winning together, and we're going to be growing together here in the community, and we're going to be showing love to as many people as possible. So that's what we do. And I think we've really found a path that's going to bring a lot of new people in. So I'm focused on the future, man. I'm just focused on how we can continue to bring value to the space and continue to make valuable NFTs that will uh, give more to collectors than they cost. And at the end of the day, that's important because a lot of these NFTs have rugged out over the months and years, and we're building here for the long term. So I think this has been a
That's
really
the key.
dope. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Yancey.
that's the key deal. One thing I'll ask somebody before they invest is, when you hit that mint button, what is that investment going to do for you right now? And a lot of the PFP projects that are out there, They're asking you to mint something and tell you they're going to do something in the future. To me, that's a red flag. If you're going to invest in a project, you want to invest in a project that's not only talking about what they're going to do in the future, but showing what they've already done up to today, because that's really what you're getting at the time in which you mint. We can all have a great view of the future, but if we haven't already invested in our community and our project prior to us offering an NFT, what that community is basically saying, or that project incubator is saying, hey, buy my artwork, and with the money that you invest, I'm possibly going to build something in the future. Versus, as you've done, Deal, you've produced the music and you ask people to pick up a single or pick up the album, or whatever it may be, because you've already made the music. So when somebody mints one of your music NFTs, they actually get the song or they actually get the album. So they actually have an immediate value. In addition to that, they have the future goal or the future vision that you lay out in your whole scheme of development that gives somebody a more of an incentive to continue to invest in you. Just same as like with Guar Money and my project, when you invest with us, we've already invested in the Autobot trading system and all those things, in addition to where we're going to deliver a return to you in the future. So you got to be kind of cautious when you're looking at PFP projects to know whether they're actually going to build it or they have actually built it. And that's kind of a determining factor that I have when investing in these large cap or these big number NFT projects that have celebrities talking about some amazing thing, but it's not even built yet, because what they're saying is they're going to collect your money and then possibly build it in the future. So that's always a red flag to me. You always want to invest in PFP projects that have already built something. They're bringing that to the table, and they have a future goal and a future success for your investment.
Absolutely, Yancey, and that's really important because you never know with different projects. Nothing beats consistency. Nothing beats reputation in the space. Having collectors built up, and it's not always best to just come in on a new mint. Sometimes it's best to buy NFTs on secondary markets or find out what some reputable communities are and really get into them. So I want to swing it back to Mr. X. In case you want to share anything, Mr. X, here for collectors or people who are looking to collect, get into the space. Any information or some alpha that you might want to share here before we close up the podcast and keep the Twitter space going?
Yes, I want to give based on what Yancey just said. It's about check what the community has already built. You know, because this is like a company. When you have a company, you want to attract new investors. You need to show what you're already doing. You need to show your product. This is a product we have been working on, and we want you on board so that we can develop our product, and we are going to give you value back. I want to give you an example of a project that is not a rug pull, but it's a major fiasco. It's an example, for example, for Porsche. Everybody knows Porsche. Everybody knows the 911. Everybody knows the amazing cars they produced. They created a project, a PFP project, that they minted for 0.911 ETH, and it's a major fiasco. People are already getting rid of the NFT. The few people that minted it, they are already getting rid of the NFTs, paper handing them, because people went after the brand. Oh, it's Porsche, going to be a great project. Bah, it didn't go well.
What's the
Why
name
not?
on OpenSea? I heard about that collection. What's the name on OpenSea?
It's Porsche. It's the name of the brand.
I know, but I don't see it anywhere here on the OpenSea.
It's oh my god, let me check. I don't know. I was following them, and then I saw what they were doing, and they ended up.
11 now. Nah, the floor price is up over 2 ETH now, so it's actually doing kind of good.
No, their mint didn't go. Now their mint, it's.
I heard that basically they reduced the supply of the mint and did some stuff that made it sell a little better.
Yeah, but it's a way of or how not to do it, because they had no community behind. They just thought that okay, we are very successful. We're just going to put some poor quality art, a project almost without any utility, and people are going to pay a lot of money for it. And yeah, it didn't go well. It didn't go well at all. So, as for example, one successful example I can give you of utility, it was I like Yancey very much, and I when he presented the Gore money on ETH, even I told him, yeah, I'm interested in what you're doing. I'm going to invest in one. I did, and then I bought some of his Gore money on Tezos, and they're already receiving dividends from it. You know, so guys, choose well the project you invest into. Choose well the artists you're going to invest into, because it's your hard-earned money, and please invest only the money that you are willing to lose in case it goes wrong. Don't do like many people did in the crazy DeFi days, that were asking for loans to the bank to invest, and then they lost everything and they need to pay the loan back to the bank. So please, guys, don't do this. Invest only what you are willing to lose.
Let's go, guys. Well, this is amazing, and it's good to bring some information from some collectors who have the experience here in the space. And ultimately, we want to help people make more sales and highlight some of the best people in the community. So, thank you guys for coming in. Shout out to everybody on Music NFT Radio Podcast. If you're tuned in on YouTube, leave a like, a comment, subscribe on the video. And if you're on Spotify and podcast sites and any of those, just come into the live show on Twitter Spaces. Come hang out with us. Come talk to everybody. Be a part of the community. And there's so many amazing things that we can do to really activate our collectors and really help to improve our community and improve our NFT sales. So these are some of the top things that collectors are going to be looking for. And as a collector, these are some of the tips that will help you make money. So if you're a new collector, or even if you're an experienced collector, hopefully some of these tips are great for you, whether they're brand new and you're just experimenting, or if it's a great reminder for you, then that's what's up. So, guys, keep collecting, because remember, there's not only one way to make money by selling NFTs. You know, there's a lot of other ways to make money. You can collect NFTs and make money by supporting other artists and selling their NFTs. So don't always just think about shilling your own NFTs and making sales on your own NFTs. Think about how you can support others and actually make sales by collecting other people's NFTs. So this has been a great episode of Music NFT Radio Podcast with Yancey, with Mr. X, two people I really wanted to get featured on the show. So I already made a really dope little thumbnail for you guys, just featuring some of this amazing stuff that we've been doing here is great. So, dude, thank you guys both for coming in. And we're going to keep the show going on Twitter Spaces, guys. But that's all for now for the podcast. So, like, comment, subscribe, keep coming back. And shout out to everyone who's tuned in live on the Twitter Spaces, baby. Let's go. Follow Music NFT Radio. And if you're not in the Discord yet, join the Discord at Dilluminati.com. Go over there to my Discord link in bio. It says Dilluminati.com. Join into the Discord. It's very easy. It takes a minute. You can ask questions about NFTs or Web3 or music or anything you want help with 24/7. Join the community. We have almost 3,000 in there as we're recording this now. So come join up, because it's growing every single day. And guys, go over to my Twitter profile, and when you're following, click that little bell to turn on notifications. Every time we have a space, come on up in the space, even when it's getting started with just 3 or 4 or 5 people. We need your help getting the room started. Right now, we've got almost 50 people in the space. So we need your help getting the room started early. But thank you for coming up here now, guys. And we're going to keep the Twitter spaces going. We'll see you later, podcast. Thanks for being here. And